everybody. My name is Sharleen Bowden. I'm an artist that lives in Durban, more up the north coast, near Ballito in South Africa. And Addicted to Art has asked me to give you all a little lesson and maybe some tips or two. So during this lockdown, it's been very difficult to feel inspired. I'm sure all of you will agree. As creatives, we have to be in a good headspace in order to make good art. And for me personally, I did battle in the first few weeks, but then I thought it was quite a good time to maybe come away from your usual style of art and start experimenting, having fun, trying other things, because there's no pressure now, no pressure to produce something that's going to sell or what your gallery might want from you. I went through a phase of creating my own stamps, making my own stamps and creating stamp art. And I'd like to share some of those tips with you today. All you will need is just a normal box that you would get from something you buy from the chemist or the shop somewhere, scrap strings or wool, and you wind it round the box, and you can put it on any way you like. You just want to create the ridges or the edges here so that you can make some lovely marks. Right, once you've secured it on, now you're ready to play. So besides using a box like this, you can use pieces of wood. Here I have one with some string on it. Blocks of wood, you can get them cut in all sorts of shapes and sizes. I also love to scrummage around in toy shops. The alphabet letters with a little soft sponge, these can be nice on their own just to use to make beautiful marks, or you can put like I have here around a sponge, you can put some string. I even created my biggest stamp made from a bit of a skirting board when we were renovating a house, and I made this wound round with some string. So what I use is usually acrylic paint. This is the Flow acrylic, and so I just put some in a bowl like that. And then I also use drawing ink, acrylic drawing ink. Beautiful colors, you can play and experiment, go monochromatic or very colorful, it's up to you. And I also would just place some of it into a container of sorts. And obviously the bigger your stamp gets, you're going to need a larger container so that you can dip it in. I made some stamps, as I said, I'm using some that I made a while back. And so all that you would do is dip the stamp in your paint. I suggest you experiment first on some normal paper, any paper that you can find, and just start to get the feel of it. So put down some marks, and as artists we all love putting down our marks. And just get the feel of what pressure, what angle, what kind of things you can do with your stamp. The harder stamps, the ones made of wood, are less giving than the ones made with, for instance, a sponge, and it will create different kinds of marks for you. This was just my initial testing of the acrylic, the Flow acrylic. I made any old marks here. And you can see some look smudgy, some are thin. They create little dots and splatters, which is very exciting. I'm going to attempt to do something fun with this. So, you know, the first thing that I would start with is perhaps getting the eyes in position. So we'll just, and you know, the whole point here is not to feel that you've got to be perfect. You're going to get splodges all over the place, out of your control. And this is why I love this time in lockdown. It's because I tend to be somebody, an artist who likes to get too uncontrolled. So this is a nice way to loosen up. Got no control here at all. So I'm just giving you a general idea of how you could go about doing this. I'm going to add some of it, something here of a different color. So as you can see, I've got a basic portrait that's starting to happen here. Beautiful, beautiful, uncontrolled marks. So this is where I've gotten to. It's still a work in progress, but I'm having loads of fun with it, and I really encourage you to do this. It's almost therapeutic. Earlier examples of the same thing technique being used, and this was done on corrugated paper. It made these beautiful horizontal lines as well as the marks made by the stamp. Another portrait that these are literally 10-minute sketches, 10-minute stamp work. I tried doing some birds. Some say it looks like a chicken, but others can't see it. And then these were just the experiments making marks, small floral round shapes. That is all I can share with you today. And once again, I'd like to thank Addicted to Art for inviting me to do this video. If you'd like to see more of my artwork, please go to my website, sharleenbowden.com. Thank you for joining me.